Debbie D'Souza joins us today to talk about the new film, Infidel. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg passes away at 87. So what does that mean for Trump, the Supreme Court, and the 2020 elections? All that and more. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is Saturday Live Stream.
And God bless the United States of America.
All right, friends, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday over here. If you're new to the show, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Gosh, anyone who was up last night, this morning, knows that there's breaking news all over the place. We've got a great show for you today, and we have a special guest. We're going to mix things up a little bit. Usually we have our guest later, but we're going to bring Debbie D'Souza on. She is the co-executive producer, along with her husband, Dinesh, for the new film, Infidel. Debbie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. How exciting. I love your show.
Yeah, I know. I'm so glad you are here. I want to get into all the latest, that's going on with the movie, with Infidel, how you guys got started with it. But I think one thing that might be good for folks that aren't familiar with it, how about if we dive in and give them part of the trailer?
Perfect.
Who's there?
Dog! Can you hear me?
He's caused an international incident.
He was kidnapped. This is terrorism.
You are in the middle of nowhere, and it's gonna stay that way. We agree?
You gotta get him out. They're working on it, right? The government.
Not a chance. The days of Entebbe are long over.
As far as the law's concerned, you're dead and buried.
I can't give up on it.
Is here your husband?
You're CIA. The two of you set him up.
You act as if nothing happened in Virginia. Try to get me arrested.
I came here to plead for his life.
It is clear you are an American spy.
I didn't come here to watch you die.
We're not afraid to die. That's why we're gonna win.
I'm not afraid either.
Wow, that looks awesome. I told you before, when we were chatting that I was going to see it last night. We're going tonight because everything was breaking loose, all crazy. But man, that looks awesome. Why don't you give us some background on the storyline and the motivation for putting this together?
Right. So this is our first feature film produced by D'Souza Media. But I have to tell you, it was actually born, the idea of Infidel was born on a flight to India. Dinesh and I, flights to India, as you know, are very long. And so
Oh, yeah.
we were sitting there sketching out some ideas for some movies. And we just, we thought, hey, it'd be really cool to do a movie about radical Islam, and specifically to do a movie about the Iranian regime. So we started putting together some ideas, and we kind of built the storyline around a character who is Doug, who is played by Jim Caviezel. And we thought that it would be a really good idea to have him. So in my mind, I always had him playing that role, which this is why this whole movie has been providential from the beginning, because just, even the idea of having him play that role was absolutely like amazing. But so anyway,
Right.
So we came up with the script and everything. However, we're not script writers. And I had
Right.
seen a movie called The Stoning of Soraya M. Many years ago. And Cyrus Naraste, it was the writer, director, producer of that movie. And so I had Dinesh watch it. And he goes, because I said he would be an amazing director, writer for this idea, right? And Dinesh goes, I know him. So what are the odds, right? He actually
wow.
knew this guy. So right away, we got on the phone and we start chatting with him. And I mean, this whole process probably was born about 3 years ago. So, this isn't just one of those things that is, you shoot it and then you show it in the theater. It's been a long process. Movies are not easy, and they're
Right.
not cheap to make. They're expensive to make. So we had to raise the money to do it. And we really thought, we're going to take a chance because Hollywood does not like conservatives, as we know. And
Right. And one thing I
conservative,
wanted to ask you is you mentioned Jim Caviezel. And I mean, okay, so it's one thing to be on the flight, and thinking he's our lead. I picture him as the lead. What did you think the chances of getting him actually were? How did that come together?
right? So I had no idea. I just threw that out there, right? So when we talked to Cyrus and we signed the agreement to do the movie and everything, I go, Cyrus, I really think Jim Caviezel would be a great, the great lead for this movie. And he was like, no, I don't think so. I think he may be kind of out of our league. He may be a little too expensive. He probably isn't interested, whatever. But he actually had a relationship with Jim because Jim happened to be in Stoning of Soraya M. So they knew each other. So when we thought, okay, maybe he could play a smaller role in the movie, just maybe a cameo or something. So when Cyrus showed Jim the script, Jim was like, wait a minute, I want to play the lead. So
Right.
again, chills, it was just
Right.
amazing.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is fantastic. And the overall plot, or not the plot for this movie, but the overall theme is something that I find interesting because the media, they gloss over it, they downplay it, but it is this Christian persecution around the world. And I know that, Dinesh has talked on a number of topics, the infiltration of the left and, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and on and on. What was the motivation for that topic?
Well, because it's needed and it's
Mhm.
interesting to us, and we knew Hollywood wouldn't make a movie like this. When Hollywood makes movies about terrorists, they're usually from Russia or Ukraine or someplace else, right? They're never Islamic terrorists. But interestingly, this movie is not it doesn't demonize Islam. A lot of people probably think, oh yeah, this is one of those Islamophobic movies, that the D'Souza's are making. But if you watch the movie, you'll know that we're not depicting all of Islam this way. Only the
Mhm.
radicals. So and only the terrorists. In fact, Muslims help Doug in the end.
Mhm.
I don't want to give too much away, but
Right.
so this movie really is a marriage of all of these religions and Doug's conviction on the truth, and he goes to the Middle East because he's invited. But the minute he says that Jesus was not just a prophet but the Son of God, that's when all
Uh-oh.
bets are off. So
Right.
as a
Uh-oh.
Christian, of course, he gets it, and so the
Mhm.
Iranian regime thinks he's a spy, and they go from there. So
Mhm.
it's a thriller. It's not for the faint at heart. I tell you, it's an actual thriller. It's rated R, so just be aware of that. But Bobby, I mean, I am so excited. This movie in many theaters across the country is the number one movie right now. So
Oh,
they have had to
wow.
turn
Oh my
people
gosh, that's good
away
news.
in COVID, in our COVID era right now. People have
Right.
gone to the movies and they've had to, because there's 50% capacity and all of that
Mhm.
going on,
Right.
right? So
Right.
people have been turned away. So they're adding screens as we speak. And
Oh, wow.
so we're excited, adding show times. This is phenomenal. Hollywood didn't
Right.
expect this.
Right. Now, is the distribution, how many theaters you reach, is that part of the budget that you guys have to put together? Is that factor into the widespread release of this?
Yes, of course. That's part of
Mhm.
it. We were given at first about 1,400 screens, and now it's up to like 1,800, maybe closer to 2,000 screens. So it is
Oh, wow.
nationwide. It literally is in almost every town in America. And
Oh,
so,
wow.
I mean, that's a phenomenal feat altogether as well. So
Right.
we are very pleased.
And when you're putting this together, I mean, did you know the people to kind of angle toward? I mean, you didn't go the traditional route and receive pushback from leftist Hollywood, or did you know who to talk to, or did you receive pushback as you wanted to get this idea from, something jotted down on a plane ride to an actual film? What was the process there, or the reaction along the way?
Well, as I've said, that this movie from the beginning was providential. And so all of the people that fell into place to make this movie all wanted to do it. And so it was just one thing after another, to, raising the money, people that believed in our work and believed in the cause, because, culture right now, they own everything. The left owns all of the megaphones of the culture, as you know. Hollywood is one of them.
Oh, right.
So for us to just chip away a little bit at that was amazing, and people believed in us, and they thought, what, we're gonna do this. We're gonna see how it goes, but we're gonna do it. And we were able to get the funding. It was just, as I said, I can only thank the Lord for this, because really this is a movie that Hollywood would not make. And as you know, actors like Jim Caviezel are blackballed in Hollywood because of their convictions. So, Hollywood wants to be, like all inclusive, how they just recently decided that they have to do sort of a affirmative action kind of thing. They have to put blacks and Latinos in major roles.
Exactly. Yet, 2 out of 4 categories or something, just to be nominated.
Exactly. But the very interesting thing about that is that they don't want diversity of thought. Mm-hmm. In other words, if you're a conservative, you're a pariah in Hollywood. So we want to change the paradigm in Hollywood, and we want to in fact, we have a lot of ideas in the docket for films. So this is our first, but hopefully not our last.
Well, I'm excited about it, and the whole idea about changing the paradigm, it's just one little step at a time, because you said Jim Caviezel's blackballed and everything, but you know what? He keeps making these pictures. You guys keep doing this. Dean Cain's out there making good films. There's a lot of people out there that are becoming more and more vocal. And it's because of people like you and Dinesh that are doing this stuff. Pretty soon it won't be so independent, so far out there. More and more people will see this as you get the backing and the support. I'll promote this. I'm excited about seeing it. But this is how we get things going. And I congratulate you guys for doing that.
Oh, thank you. It's been an amazing ride, and this movie is an amazing ride. So I can't wait to see what you think about it, and urge your friends to go, your fans. The opening weekend is always really important, because it shows the numbers as far as like if they're good numbers, which they have been, then they will keep the movie in the theater longer. And more people will be able to go watch. But opening weekend is crucial. So we urge people to go today, Saturday, tomorrow. And just the rest is up to God, I think. So.
Oh, wow.
Exciting.
Well, we got a question here. We got a question from one of our viewers, Janine, and she wants to know, okay, we've got Infidel. We're going to go see it this weekend, folks. What else do you have coming? What's in the works for you guys together, for Dinesh? I know he's got something coming up.
Right. So we have a movie coming out. It's called Trump Card. And Trump Card is actually going to be video on demand. So it's going to be on all the platforms like iTunes, Dish, Amazon Prime, all of those downloads, the pay-per-views. And that's going to happen October the 9th. So mark your calendars. We want to have families download this movie like crazy. It's an expose of socialism in America, and it is a really great movie. We were going to release it in the theater August 7th, but as you know, in August most theaters were closed. So we decided, you know what, we can't do this. We have to pull it out. So we pulled out of the theater and decided to do this instead, go straight to VOD. So that's October 9th. And I know you'll probably have Dinesh on right before to talk about it. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Right.
Yeah,
Well, that's
appreciate
great.
it.
Yeah, we're gonna get that. He and I will talk about that one. And I mean, I wish you guys all the best because this is what's important. It's it's Dan Bongino looking at alternatives for YouTube. It's Parler coming out as an alternative to Twitter. It's folks like you guys putting films together that are an alternative to Hollywood. And it's just so inspiring. I can't wait to see the movie, and I appreciate you for being on today.
Thank you, Bobby. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
All right, have a great weekend. We'll see you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, folks, what do you think about that? I'm excited. We're going to see it tonight. The trailer looks absolutely awesome. I can't wait to see it. I encourage you guys to go visit it too, because Dinesh and Debbie, they are awesome people. They are really committed to the cause, to doing films like this. I just absolutely love them and what they're doing. So I appreciate if you guys would go see it. Now we got to move on to Ginsburg, because that is the big story. That is what's going on. I mean, can you believe this? Things are happening. President Trump gets out for a rally yesterday. He's giving a rally in Minnesota, and without even knowing, this news breaks. Justice Ginsburg, dead at 87, pancreatic cancer. It throws everything just up in the air. And I don't know if you guys saw this last night, but it is one of those rare moments, because presidents are always brief. Do you remember that moment when Andy Card, the White House chief of staff, is whispering in George Bush's ear about 9/11? Now, this wasn't a 9/11, but just these moments when presidents realize what's going on. This time it was one of those rare moments where a member of the press, before any staff, member of the press informed President Trump on the death of Ginsburg, and here's his reaction.
She just died? Wow. I didn't know that. You're telling me now for the first time. She led an amazing life. What else can you say? She was an amazing woman. Whether you agreed or not, she was an amazing woman who led an amazing life. I'm actually sad to hear that. I am sad to hear that. Thank you very much.
All right, wasn't that amazing? It was just, I mean, I don't know what it is about that clip, but it was just so moving. The music happened to be playing in the background. That wasn't added. He was coming to Air Force One from this event, walking out on the tarmac in Minnesota, and that song was playing. I think that clip is going to be enduring, and just, it was just amazing. Later on, he put out a statement on Justice Ginsburg. I want to put that up on the screen, and this is what President Trump said. Today, our nation mourns the loss of a titan of the law. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg served more than 27 years as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, notably just the second woman to be appointed to the court. She was a loving wife to her late husband, Martin, and a dedicated mother to her two children. Renowned for her brilliant mind and her powerful dissents at the Supreme Court, Justice Ginsburg demonstrated that one can disagree without being disagreeable toward one's colleagues or different points of view. Her opinions included well-known decisions regarding the legal equality of women and the disabled, having inspired all Americans in generations of great legal minds. A fighter to the end, Justice Ginsburg battled cancer and other very long odds throughout her remarkable life. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Ginsburg family and their loved ones during this difficult time. May her memory be a great and magnificent blessing to the world. Wow, it was a great statement. Class act by President Trump. And again, his spontaneous reaction, I think, says a lot. I really was moved by that. And I think it was great words from the president. I'd love to know what you think about the statement, about his comments getting right there on the tarmac. Let me know in the comments or in the chat. But also, folks, now what do we do? This is what it just opens things up. I want to have a discussion with you guys on the ramifications of what this all means, because this is, if you recall, Joe Biden, they finally put a platform together, issues to talk about. And what are they? Coronavirus, economy, and violence. I mean, how lame is that? That the three topics that the Democrats have done nothing about, where all they've done is criticize President Trump, they decide to run on that. coronavirus, the economy. President Trump built the biggest economy in the world, the greatest economy, and they want to run on that. Violence? Joe Biden talks about it now. He had the national and world stage to talk about it at the Democratic National Convention. He said absolutely nothing about it. Democrats said nothing about it. So now when they come out and talk about it, it just rings so hollow. And then coronavirus. Every step of the way, whatever President Trump did, listening to the experts, shutting down travel from China and from Europe when the Democrats said not to, when Democrats like Nancy Pelosi said, come out to Chinatown, they were battling President Trump. He actually led every step of the way. Joe Biden has no plan except to do what President Trump has done. And now they are actually trying to cause fear and doubt in the minds of the American people regarding a vaccine. They criticize President Trump for not having one, but if he does come up with one, then they're going to question the safety. They try and have it both ways, and it's just ridiculous. Well, that was, the 2020 election yesterday. Now it's turned on its ear because we have this whole new topic. We have the nomination of a Supreme Court justice. And it makes things crazy, folks. Mitch McConnell came out. He is the majority leader of the Senate. And he said there will be a vote. If President Trump puts forward a nominee, they will have a vote on this prior to the election. So the Democrats are absolutely livid. They are going insane, saying, you better not do that. We're going to fight back. We're going to do all sorts of things. The Democrat senator came out last night or this morning, said, if you do that, if you try and vote before the election, then when we can control of the Senate, which these guys think they are going to do, I don't think it's going to happen, then we're going to pack the court. We are going to pack the court. It's been since 1867 that we've had 9 justices on the Supreme Court. It varied a little bit at various times before then, but since 1867, we've had 9. They want to get rid of the filibuster so they could push legislation that would pack the court. I mean, it's absolutely unreal that these folks will basically cheat to win. If the American people vote for Trump and Trump delivers conservative judges, which he said from the beginning he would, they want to fight that. They don't accept the will of the American people. And folks, I can't stress enough how important it is, because if you listen to the media, if you hear any reports on the Supreme Court in the media, how will they describe it? They will say, this Supreme Court has a 5-4 conservative majority. Well, any conservative out there knows that's ridiculous. They know that is absolutely just not true, because George W. Bush gave us Chief Justice John Roberts. He gave us John Roberts, and this so-called 5-4 majority is just smoke, because on major decisions like Obamacare, like DACA, like LGBTQ ruling that I talked about a couple months ago, John Roberts has gone political. He hasn't interpreted the Constitution. He hasn't said, hey, this law is unconstitutional because here's what the Constitution says. Go back and change the law. Make it better legislatively. He injected politics into it on the major decisions where we needed that 5-4 majority. And folks, when they talk about liberal and conservative for the court, I just want to clear something up. The way I think about it, and I think the way most true constitutionalists think about it. When you're talking about liberal and conservative, as far as judges, it does not mean what you think about when you think liberal and conservative as far as politicians. I'm a conservative, okay, as far as politics goes. When you're talking about the Supreme Court or judges in general, liberal and conservative tends to fall down on how do you interpret the Constitution? Is this some living, changing, malleable document that we can say it means whatever we think it means at the time? If that's what you believe, you're on the liberal side. And we have 4, and with John Roberts, 5 people actually. If you believe that the Constitution means what it says it means as it's written, then you're conservative. That's where I fall in, and we've got 4 solid guys right there. And the thing is that is the only logical way to think about this. Do times change? Yes. Does wording change? Yes. Do people's attitudes change? Yes. But there are ways to amend the Constitution. If we don't like the way it reads, if we think something has changed in meaning, if we don't even like something, get rid of it. Amend the Constitution. There are ways to do that. But the left, They don't want to do all that. They go through the courts with liberal judges that say, you know what? Yesterday, the Constitution meant something. Today, because I say so, the Constitution is going to mean something else. So now it is even more important for President Trump to get this nominee in. And I think this could motivate the base like nothing else. I mean, there is no reason now for people not to get out there and campaign for President Trump. If this process goes through, if he gets a nominee, if it comes out of committee, if the Senate could vote it up by the time the election, then we all should go out there and vote for President Trump as a big fat thank you for delivering a true conservative majority on the court, something that will last for a generation or more. If this can't get done by then it's up to all of us to make sure President Trump is reelected, because we need that extra justice. Anyone who stands for pro-life, pro-Constitution, pro-Second Amendment needs to go out there, support President Trump, either vote to thank him or vote to make sure that he can get this justice in, because the politics is crazy, folks. You've already got Lisa Murkowski, Republican senator out of Alaska, saying she's not even going to vote. Susan Collins is in a big fight in Maine to keep her seat. We already know how so-called middle of the road she is. What is she going to do? Is she going to risk voting? So, I mean, it takes the senators that are present to vote. So if we lose a Republican vote, it's even more important that we hold the rest. What's Mitt Romney going to do? Who knows? It's just absolutely crazy. But this is the big news. This is the big politics. Of course, the Democrats, what they're saying now is that we have to wait. You can't do this. You have to wait. We can't do this kind of thing. It's not right. Look what you did to Barack Obama. And the thing is that the Democrats were the ones that changed the playing field, folks. It used to take the filibuster, the 60 votes to close debate on judges. It was the Democrats who said, you know what? We're not going to do that anymore. We're going to make it a majority. That's how we got Neil Gorsuch, President Trump's first pick. And this is how we can get this one. Just keep going. We have the Senate. We have the White House. We need this pick, folks. But you talk about chaos before. This is total chaos. It is just going to be crazy. And this is all just broke last night and this morning. I can't wait to see what is going to happen. I want to know what you think. There are some great possibilities out there, folks, as far as a replacement, a new nominee. Amy Coney Barrett, she's my pick. All right, she was a law professor at Notre Dame, where I'm going now. She clerked under Justice Antonin Scalia, the conservative of all conservative justices. She would be just an amazing pick. But there are others, folks. President Trump has not let us down with this. On his list are strong candidates. I know there was a question earlier if we thought Ted Cruz was going to be the Supreme Court justice. President Trump actually put him on that new list, that he would nominate him. Cruz said, thanks, but no thanks. I want to continue my fight in the political arena. So it doesn't look like Cruz will be up there as the nominee anytime soon. But the slate that he has to choose from is absolutely outstanding. So that is the big story for the day. I want to take your questions. I want to see, what's going on here. Let me see right here. Oh, we've got some great donations from Super Chat. Folks, thank you so much. Everything that you guys donate goes back into the show. We just got some new audio equipment. We're getting new cameras. Everything that you do helps with that. I appreciate it so much. Oh, wow. We got just another one. Any other questions? Let's just take a few minutes. If you guys have questions, let me know. This is some great politics. Yesterday, too, this helps, too. I want to talk about this real quick. On the House side, we know now that the Senate is if this can't get done, we have to keep the Senate, folks. We have to keep that majority in the Senate. I was at an event yesterday with GOP leader Kevin McCarthy. He gave a great speech. I talked to him afterwards. And one of the things that he pointed out was this special election victory in California where Mike Garcia won. It was the first time that a seat flipped in California from Republican to Democrat in ages. He said there are 44 seats across the country that have better numbers than Mike Garcia's win. 44. We need 17 to take the House. 17 to take the House with 44 races that look good. The motivation for getting this nominee, for voting for President Trump, can help with these Senate races and can help with these House races. All right, I think that wraps it up. One special announcement I want to make is that this is the last show for producer Charlotte. She can't work with her dad anymore. She says forget it. No, she got a great job. She's going to be going up to Dallas, doing some awesome marketing, planning, organizing, all the things that she is really looking forward to. But I need a new producer. This has been great. So let's give Charlotte a big hand. Wish her some good luck. Any parting words?
Thanks for all the support from everybody.
Whoa, obscene gestures. No, I'm just kidding. No, she says thanks for all the support. She really appreciates it. Folks, let me know what you think. Give Charlotte a big kudos and a good luck in the comments, please. I really appreciate that. And let me know what you think about Ginsburg. And go see Infidel. I think it's going to be great. And I appreciate all you guys. Folks, we're about to hit 90,000 subscribers. There is a really good chance we can make our goal. So before you leave, if you haven't subscribed or if you're new to the show, please subscribe. And when you do, please hit that bell so you'll be notified. And we'll see you next time. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a Saturday live stream. Okay, friends, thanks so much for watching. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll be notified. And here's a special video just for you so you can watch even more of the 13-minute news hour. And don't forget to check out GOPUSA.com for the best in conservative news and commentary. We'll see you next time.